Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2, Chapter 7.6, Notes, Day 1. Today we're talking about applications of quadratic equations. Our learning target today is to be able to solve quadratic equations involving area and volume. So, before we get started, let's review. Find the area of a rectangle whose length is 9 centimeters and whose width is 12 centimeters. Hopefully this will be a nice little review for you guys, because this is all the way from chapter 1. Remember, when we're trying to find area, area equals length times width. Okay? The other way to say that is base times height. Okay? So our length is 9 and our width is 12. Okay? So area equals 9 times 12. So that means the area is 108 centimeters squared. Okay, and you might be like, well, why is it squared? Well, it's centimeters times centimeters. And if it's x times x, we get x squared. So if it's centimeters times centimeters, it's centimeters squared. Okay? Number 2, find the volume, okay, so volume of a rectangular prism whose length measures x plus 2, the width is 3x minus 4, and the height is 5 inches. So when we're talking about volume is talking about a three-dimensional shape. Okay? So length times width times height. Volume equals length times width times height. So we know that the length is x plus 2. We have 3x minus 4, and the height is 5. So let's go ahead and plug everything in. Remember, it doesn't matter what order you plug the numbers into. So we'll do 5x plus 2, and then 3x minus 4. What do you think we're supposed to do next? Well, we need to distribute. And we only need to distribute just to the first set. Okay? So after we distribute, we get, well, 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 2 is 10. And then we've got 3x minus 4. And now from here, you're either going to do the FOIL or the box method. Okay? So foiling, we get 15x squared minus 20x plus 30x minus 40. Okay, so now we need to combine like terms. And after we combine our like terms, we get volume equals 15x squared plus 10x minus 40, but what's our units? Well, we get inches times inches times inches, which is going to give us inches cubed. Okay, we can't forget about the label. All right. Now, on to the new stuff when we're actually doing more application. Okay, because now we're going to find the area and volume of applications of quadratic equations, and that means we're going to need to find out what x is. All right. Now, when you see the word dimensions, let's find the dimensions. We want to find the measures of each side. Okay? So find the dimensions of the rectangle below if the area is 96 centimeters squared. Okay? So before, let's go ahead and get started. I'm sorry. So we're using area equals length times width. So we know that one side is x plus 1 and x minus 3. And now we know the area because the area is 96 centimeters. Okay, so just like we did up there, our reminder of factor or foiling, we go x squared minus 3x plus 1x minus 3. Okay, so I'm going to do two things at once here. Now, we can't start factoring this because it's not set equal to 0. And if we were to factor, we would just go right back there. So what we have to do is we have to combine our like terms and get the 96 to the other side. So I'm going to subtract the 96, but we're also going to combine our like terms right there. So now we're going to get 0 equals x squared minus 2x minus 99. Okay, and now we can factor. So we're looking for numbers that add up to get to negative 2 and multiply to get to negative 99. So 1 and 99, 3 and 33, 9 and 11. Okay? And you should be like, oh, Mr. Grice, it's 9 and 11. Well, good. Which one's negative? So now we need to split the middle term. And we get 0 equals x squared plus 9x minus 11x minus 99. Okay? And now you need to be able to factor that however you can. Like if you're going to do the box method, which I will do a quick example of over to one side. Or if you're going to split the middle term and do that, that's all on you, okay? I'm just going to write what it is down here. So we'll set this up, x squared plus 9x minus 11x minus 99. Okay, the GCF of the top is x, of the bottom is negative 11. Of the left column, it's x. In the right column, it's positive 9. Okay, so that's where we get x minus 11 and x plus 9. And now we know from this is that x equals 11 or negative 9. Okay? Now, what we have to do now is we have to plug in 11 and negative 9 to see which one works. So if you plug in negative 9 minus 3, we get negative 12. Can we have a side that's negative 12? No, we can't, so the negative 9 doesn't work. But when you plug in 11 minus 3, we get 8, and 11 plus 1, we get 12. Okay, so our final answer we want to know the dimensions. So our dimensions are the base is what? base is going to be 12 centimeters, and the height is 8 centimeters. All right, example number 2. Just find the dimensions of the parallelogram below if its area is 16 millimeters squared. Well, all a parallelogram is, there's dimensions, area, tells us all that. All a parallelogram is a rectangle that's been stretched out a little bit. So we're actually going to use the same formula where area equals the base times the height. Okay? So the base, we actually know that number. We have x times x minus 6, and it equals 16. Okay? So we don't have to FOIL anything because it's just a monomial binomial. So all we're doing is distributing, and we get x squared minus 6. We need to subtract the 16 to the other side. I'm sorry, that's 6x. Subtract the 16 to the other side, and it cancels. And we get 0 equals x squared minus 6x minus 16. Okay? So off to the side, you're looking for numbers that, you're looking for the factors of 16 that add up to get negative 6, but multiply to get to negative 16. Well, that's 1 and 16, 2 and 8, 4 and 4. And it's going to be a negative 8. So 0 equals x squared plus 2x minus 8x minus 16. I'm sorry, I'm going to make that actually look like a minus 8x. Okay, I did the box method for the first one. I'm going to do splitting the middle term here. Pull out GCF, pull out a negative 8. We get x plus 2. And right in the back, after we pull out the negative 8, we get x plus 2, which is good, because that's what we're looking for. X minus 8, x plus 2. And when you set those equal to 0, our answers are x equals 8 and x equals negative 2. Okay? Now, we can cancel out the negative 2 right away, because when we plug it in to this one, we'd have a negative, and we can't have that. So plugging in here, our base is 8, and then 8 minus 6 is 2. So when we write our final answers over here, we're going to say that the base is 8, and we're talking about millimeters here. And then our height is 2 millimeters. All right, go ahead and flip it over. Find the missing dimensions of the rectangular prism below if its volume is 25 feet cubed. So the nice thing about this is that we already know the volume, okay? So to find the missing dimensions, again, that's what we're doing, the rectangular prism. And right there, the volume is 25 feet cubed. And we talked about volume equals length times width times height. And remember, we can put these in any order that we want to. So 5, x plus 1, x minus 3. Now, you have the choice of doing one of two things. You can either multiply those two together first and then FOIL, or you can FOIL and then distribute the 5. This is what we're going to do, okay? We're going to distribute the 5 we do that, we get 5x plus 5, x minus 3. And I was just writing v there for volume when the volume is 25. We know that. Okay, so let's go ahead and FOIL. We get 5x squared. 5x times negative 3 is negative 15x plus 5x minus 15. Okay, so we need to combine our like terms, and then we need to set it equal to 0. So we're kind of doing two things at once here. So we get 0 equals 5x squared minus 10x minus 40. Now, before you start doing, oh, 5 times 4 is, let's see, 200. Oh, then you got to do all the factors of 200. No, you're forgetting the first step. Always, always, always check to see if there's a GCF. And there is. And then when we're done, we get x squared minus 2x minus 8. And I don't know about you, but I would much rather find numbers that add up to get to negative 2 and multiply to get to negative 8. 1 and 8, 2 and 4. So we got 2 and negative 4. So x squared plus 2x minus 4x minus 8. Now, I'm going to pause the video right here, and you guys need to factor that all by yourself. Good luck. Okay, after you factor that, you should get x minus 4 and x plus 2. And when you set, remember, the only thing that you set equal to 0 are things that have x's in them. How many x's do we have? Well, we've only got those 2. So those are the only things you need to worry about. You don't need to worry about the 5 right there because it's just 5, okay? So we get x equals 4 and x equals negative 2. Plug both of those in and, well, negative 2 doesn't work. So then the dimensions that we get for this, we have a length equal to, well, 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 feet. Our width is 5 feet. And then the height, 4 minus 3, is 1 foot. And there you go. Now, your homework is below. It's the independent practice down here. You only have 3 problems, and then there is an extra credit. Now, if you're doing the extra credit, please read that it must be done on a separate sheet in order to be turned in. Okay? Well, that's going to be it for Algebra 2, Chapter 7.6 Notes, Day 1. If you have any questions, please confine Ms. Carranza or myself. Otherwise, thanks for watching.